That was Communications Minister of India, Jyotiraditya Scindia, addressing the 9th India Mobile Congress 2025 in New Delhi. It is Asia's largest telecom, media and technology event. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in attendance there. The 4-day event will focus on key themes, including optical communications, semiconductors in telecom, quantum communications, 6G, fraud risk indicators, reflecting India's strategic priorities in next-generation connectivity, digital sovereignty, cyber fraud prevention and global technology leadership. Time now for a short break here in the bulletin. A lot more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned to DD India.
This week on Defence Dynamics, Pakistan feels the pressure. India's top brass delivers a unified message, from the Air Chief's confidence to Defence Minister's warning and the Army Chief's strong words on terror. India's Air Chief on 5th generation AMCA and new fighter options. And a closer look at the Army's AK-603 air defence upgrade under Mission Sudarshan Chakra. Catch it all this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
I am Gujarat. I embody our nation's history. I represent the heroes of our country. I am Gujarat. I'm art. I'm culture. I am the present. I am the future. I am good.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I am Tanvi Taneja. Moving on to the rest of the news here. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's first official visit to India begins today. During his 2-day visit, Starmer, along with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi, will take stock of the progress and diverse aspects of India-UK Comprehensive Strategic Partnership in line with Vision 2035 on Thursday. Both leaders will also engage with businesses and industry leaders on opportunities presented by the India-UK Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement as a central pillar of the future India-UK economic partnership. They will also exchange views on issues of regional and global importance. Keir Starmer's visit to the UK will build on the momentum and substance generated by the visit of Prime Minister Modi to UK in July this year. It will provide a valuable opportunity to reaffirm the shared vision of India and the UK to build a forward-looking partnership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with the visiting Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer, will also participate in the 6th edition of the Global Fintech Fest at the Geo World Centre in Mumbai on Thursday and deliver keynote addresses on the occasion. Global Fintech Fest 2025 will bring together innovators, policymakers, central bankers, regulators, investors, academicians and industry leaders from around the world. The conference's central theme, Empowering Finance for a Better World, powered by AI, augmented intelligence, innovation and inclusion, highlights the convergence of technology and human insight in shaping an ethical and sustainable financial future. This year's edition is expected to attract a footfall of over 100,000 participants from more than 75 countries, making it one of the world's largest fintech gatherings. Their participation underscores GFF's growing stature as a global forum for financial policy dialogue and cooperation. During his visit to Mumbai, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the first phase of the Navi Mumbai International Airport, built at a cost of around 19,650 crore rupees, in line with his vision for transforming India into a global aviation hub. The Navi Mumbai International Airport is India's largest greenfield airport project, developed under a public-private partnership PPP mode, as the second international airport for the Mumbai metropolitan region will work in tandem with the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport. This will ease congestion and elevate Mumbai into the league of global multi-airport systems. NMIA will also be the first airport in the country to be connected by water taxis. In Mumbai, PM Modi will also inaugurate Mumbai's much anticipated Metro Line 3, the Aqua line, which is set to become fully operational, marking a major milestone in the city's transport infrastructure. The 33.5-kilometre corridor, developed by the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation Limited at an estimated cost of 37,276 crore rupees. It will be Mumbai's first fully underground metro line and one of the city's most ambitious urban projects to date.
Connecting the southern business district of Kaf Parade with the northern suburbs of Seeps and Array, the Aqua line comprises 26 underground stations and one at-grade station. The new stretch adds 11 key stations including Kaf Parade, Churchgate, Hutatma Chowk, CSMT, Girgaon and Mumbai Central, linking South Mumbai's business hubs, residential areas and heritage precincts. Once fully integrated with Mumbai's expanding metro network, the line is expected to serve nearly 15 lakh passengers daily, significantly reducing travel time across the city.
If you look at the entire project which is now getting completed, and once the entire connectivity to this project is completed, almost 13 lakh passengers will travel on it per day. But to begin with, that number won't be there. Slowly it will get built up. There will be substantial reduction in the travel time from Kaf Parade to the last station, which is RAJVLR. You can travel just in 50 minutes. So that's a substantial reduction in travel time if you go by route.
Construction of the southern stretch posed considerable challenges due to South Mumbai's narrow roads, dense urban fabric and proximity to heritage structures. Despite these hurdles, the project represents a major step toward easing congestion and modernizing Mumbai's public transport network.
This particular section which is getting inaugurated day after, that actually provides connectivity to the heritage district of Mumbai, and it is passing through areas like Girgaon, Kalbadevi, Grand Road, which are very thickly populated. So this one line which provides very deep connectivity to South Mumbai, which is the peninsular part of the city, which otherwise has no that way public transport connectivity, it is now being provided by this line.
Mumbai commuters have welcomed the launch of the Aqua line, saying it will greatly ease daily travel and offer a faster, more comfortable alternative to road congestion. The commute from Kaf Parade to the domestic airport will take just 45 minutes.
कफ परेड से लेके अपने महालक्ष्मी तक लोगों की वक्त को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो महाराष्ट्र सरकार ने जो ये नया कदम उठाया, जिससे नया डेवलपमेंट किया है, ये सराहनीय है।
सबके अच्छे के लिए ही है। जो अंडरग्राउंड जो पहले जो महालक्ष्मी अपना गिरगांव वगैरह जो स्टेशन पे नहीं ट्रेनें जब नहीं रोक रही थी, अभी हमारे लिए बहुत सहूलियत की बात है।
मेट्रो की सुविधा हो गई है, अंडरग्राउंड से पूरी हो गई है, तो उसके वजह से एयरपोर्ट जाने के लिए नज़दीक काफ़ी इजी हो गया है। तो 1 घंटे के अंदर हम यहाँ से एयरपोर्ट पहुँच सकते हैं।
Designed with commuter comfort in mind, the Aqua line offers women-only coaches, priority seating for senior citizens and persons with disabilities, as well as advanced CCTV surveillance for enhanced safety.
Mumbai is getting redefined, and commuters, passengers of all strata of societies will have an option now to leave their four-wheelers and travel smoothly in a more convenient way, and leaving the city more air to breathe. With camera person Aditya Kasare, this is Shyama Mishra for DD India, Mumbai.
In a landmark moment for India's aviation sector, Navi Mumbai International Airport promises to alleviate chronic congestion at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport while positioning Mumbai alongside global hubs like London, New York and Dubai. Leading India's Shishir spoke to CEO of Navi Mumbai International Airport, BVJK Sharma, ahead of the inauguration.
Country's financial capital, Mumbai, is going to get another important and the biggest airport, not in the country, but probably we can say in the Asia Pacific region. But how this particular Navi Mumbai International Airport will change a game? Prime Minister have actually laid the foundation stone of this particular airport, and now he is only inaugurated this airport. To get more information on this, right now we have with us CEO of Navi Mumbai International Airport, Captain Sharma. So first of all, congratulations that we've seen that one of the important and the biggest airport probably of the country that Prime Minister will be inaugurating. How important this particular project is for the region of, development of this entire region?
We will be the biggest going forward. Right now, we are starting with a 20 million and passenger, and when we saturate, our design will be 90 million, but probably we can handle even 100 million passengers. At that time, as of now, we will be the biggest, but we will be the biggest in the smallest space of 1160 hectares.
So we have two important projects nearby Mumbai, the port also and the airport also. As far as the cargo terminal handling is concerned, how you see the development going forward?
India is now making mark in cargo as well, and if we make most modern cargo terminal, the freighters would start coming. Envisaging that, we have put 11 specific freighter stands. So the large cargo freighters who bring 100 tons and more would come. And it's very natural that JNPT port is there, and the Virar corridor and Delhi corridors are coming on the east side. So there will be superb connectivity. Next is to connect them to the smart movement of vehicles, faster movement of cargo.
All right, thank you for talking to us. Well, that was Captain Sharma, who's actually giving all the details of how this Navi Mumbai International Airport will change the entire scenario in this region and will also boost economic activity as well. Shirshila for DD India, Mumbai.
Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal AP Singh said Indian air warriors have made history in every era, and Operation Sindoor is a shining example of what can be achieved through meticulous planning, disciplined training and determination. Air Chief was speaking at the Hindon Air Base, where the Indian Air Force celebrated its 93rd Air Force Day on Wednesday, marking nearly a century of service and discipline. The celebrations included a grand parade, flypasts and demonstrations of India's advanced air capabilities. Air Force Chief inspected the parade and took salute at the Hindon Air Base.
Meher Thakur, MP.
Air warriors also carried out a march past at the Hindon Air Base as part of the Air Force Day celebrations. This year's celebrations place a strong emphasis on Operation Sindoor, the Indian Air Force's response to Pakistan-based terrorist infrastructure following the Pahalgam attack in April. Air Chief Marshal AP Singh said that Indian Air Force has displayed great valor and bravery in protecting the tricolour.
Performance in Operation Sindoor fills us with professional pride. We proved to the world how air power can be effectively used in shaping military outcomes in just a few days. India's bold and precise attacks restored the rightful place of offensive air action in the national consciousness. Our robust air defense architecture and offensive employment of long-range surface-to-air missile systems limited the adversary's freedom to operate and ensured safety of our vital assets. The outstanding performance of indigenously developed and integrated weapons, which delivered precise and devastating blows deep inside enemy territory, vindicates our faith in homegrown capabilities. Operation Sindoor is a shining example of what can be achieved through meticulous planning, disciplined training, and determined execution.
So as the Indian Air Force marks 93 years of its foundation, the celebrations are continuing at the Hindan Air Base in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. Let's take you to those celebrations there. The earlier Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal AP Singh, Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi and Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi paid tribute to the soldiers at the National War Memorial on the occasion of the 93rd Air Force Day. The Tri-Services Chiefs along with the Chief of Defence Staff laid wreaths at the memorial. President of India extended her warm greetings on Indian Air Force Day. Posting on X, she wrote, "Warm greetings to all air warriors, veterans and their families on Air Force Day. The Indian Air Force has always demonstrated courage, commitment and excellence. Our air warriors protect our skies and serve the nation with tireless dedication during disasters and humanitarian missions. Our Air Force has made the nation proud with its strength and readiness to face every challenge. I extend my best wishes to the Indian Air Force for the success in all future endeavours." Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended greetings to citizens on Indian Air Force Day. In a social media post, he said, and I quote, "Greetings to all the courageous air warriors and their families on Air Force Day. The Indian Air Force epitomizes bravery, discipline and precision. They have played a vital role in safeguarding our skies, including during the most challenging situations. Their role during natural calamities is also very commendable. Their commitment, professionalism and indomitable spirit continue to make every Indian proud." We are heading for a short break here on DD India NewsHour. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. अरे it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Thank you for staying with us on DD India NewsHour. I am Tanvi Taneja. The second day of the latest round of Gaza ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas, mediated by Egypt and Qatar, concluded on Tuesday in the Egyptian city of Sharm el-Sheikh. The second day of this round of talks focused on key issues including Israeli troop withdrawal routes and the release of Israelis held captive in Gaza. Hamas insisted that any release must occur simultaneously with a complete Israeli military withdrawal from the Gaza Strip and demanded international guarantees for a permanent ceasefire. Hamas has not yet responded to several conditions Israel deems essential for a comprehensive truce. Hamas spokesman Fawzi Barhoum said that the movement is committed to overcoming all obstacles to reach an agreement. He warned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu against attempts to obstruct or undermine this round of negotiations. Meanwhile, Egyptian mediators are intensifying efforts to help bridge differences between the parties. Qatar, Turkey and the United States have sent delegations to Sharm el-Sheikh, with all parties scheduled to continue talks on Wednesday.
Our priority is an immediate end to the Zionist aggression and the war of extermination against the Gaza Strip. We renew our pledge to adhere to all our national rights and to defend the aspirations of our proud people for liberation, reform and independence. Believing in our national responsibility toward our people and their legitimate rights, the movement has dealt responsibly with all ceasefire proposals over the past 2 years, proposal by US President Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said that there was a real chance of a Gaza peace deal as Hamas and Israeli negotiators held indirect talks. Trump said that US negotiators were involved in the talks now taking place in Egypt.
I think there's a possibility that we could have peace in the Middle East. It's something even beyond the Gaza situation. We want a release of the hostages immediately, etc. And so our team is over there now. Another team just left, and other countries, literally every country in the world has supported the plan.
Yep.
I don't think there's anybody that hasn't, actually, not that I've seen.
Syrian Defense Minister Murhaf Abu Qasra and the commander of the US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces, General Mazloum Abdi, agreed to a comprehensive ceasefire on all fronts in northern and northeastern Syria. Syria's defense ministry said the truce is effective immediately. The deal is aimed to help pave the way for Kurdish-led forces that hold a quarter of Syria to merge with Damascus, along with regional Kurdish governing bodies. Separately, Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara met in Damascus on Tuesday with U.S. Special Envoy for Syria Thomas Barrack and U.S. Central Command Chief Admiral Brad Cooper. The talks, attended by Syrian Foreign Minister Asad al-Shibani, Defense Minister Abu Qasra and Intelligence Chief Hussein al-Salameh, focused on recent developments in Syria, support for the political process and efforts to bolster security and stability. US President Donald Trump said that he discussed lowering tariffs on key Canadian sectors in talks with Canadian Prime Minister as part of efforts to ease trade tensions between Washington and Ottawa. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney made his second visit to the White House in 5 months on Tuesday under increasing pressure to address US tariffs on steel, autos and other goods that are hurting Canada's economy. But Carney, who faced pressure at home to get a deal during his second White House visit since taking power in April, left without any firm promises that tariffs would be lifted. Meanwhile, Trump said that Carney would be very happy after their trade talks, but offered no immediate concessions on lifting steep US tariffs. Trump also said that a trade deal with Canada would be comprehensive.
We don't like to compete because we sort of hurt each other when we compete. And so we have a natural conflict. It's a natural business conflict, nothing wrong with it. And I think we've come a long way over the last few months, actually, in terms of that relationship. So when it comes to trade, the United States was always giving everything. They gave everything to.
As the US government shutdown reaches its 7th day, air traffic control staffing issues are delaying flights for a second straight day at numerous US airports. More than 3,000 flights have been delayed, according to flight tracking data, as staffing shortages have impacted a number of airports. The FAA is reducing the number of arriving flights per hour, citing staffing, with the average delays of 41 minutes. And there are also staffing issues at Atlanta Air Route Traffic Control Center. Some 13,000 air traffic controllers and about 50,000 Transportation Security Administration officers must still turn up for work during the government shutdown, but they are not being paid. Controllers are set to receive a partial paycheck on October 14th for work performed before the shutdown. On to the Russia-Ukraine conflict now. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Tuesday that Russian forces captured almost 5,000 square kilometers in Ukraine in 2025 and that Moscow retained complete strategic initiative on the battlefield. He visited a church in St. Petersburg on his birthday, where he also met with leading military figures. Later, Putin held a meeting with Russia's top military commanders and said Ukrainian forces were retreating in all sectors of the front. Ukrainian accounts of the situation on the front line say Kiev's forces have made gains in Donetsk region, particularly near the town of Dobropilya. President Volodymyr Zelensky has also said that Ukrainian forces have regained ground in the border Sumy region, where Russia has established a foothold. Further, President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Russia on Tuesday of using oil tankers for intelligence gathering. In his nightly address, Zelensky said, intelligence reports reveal Moscow's shadow fleet is conducting destabilizing operations across Europe. He cited cases of drones being launched directly from these vessels. Urging global allies to respond decisively, Zelensky warned that Russia's covert tactics at sea mark a dangerous new front in its campaign to undermine European security.
Очільник зовнішньої розвідки доповів по тому, як росіяни використовують танкери свого тіньового флоту і не лише для фінансування війни, але й для диверсій та різної дестабілізації в Європі. Нещодавні випадки запуску дронів з танкерів – це один з таких прикладів. Наявну у нас інформацію ми передаємо партнерам, і важливо, щоб були відчутні кроки партнерів у відповідь Росії.
French President Emmanuel Macron is under pressure even from allies to find a rapid solution to France's political deadlock after his first prime minister and once ally urged him to resign for the sake of the country. Macron, president since 2017, has been battling the worst domestic political crisis of his presidency after the shock resignation on Monday of his seventh prime minister, Sébastien Lecornu. Macron gave Lecornu until Wednesday evening to thrash out a compromise for a sustainable coalition government, but it is far from certain that these efforts can succeed. If this fails, one option for Macron is to dissolve parliament and hold snap legislative elections in the hope of having a more workable makeup in the legislature. Macron on Tuesday evening held talks with speakers of both the upper and lower house, said an aide asking not to be named. The purpose of the separate meetings was not made clear, but the president is obliged to consult both speakers if new elections are planned. Britain seeks urgent clarification on steel import quotas announced by the European Commission on Tuesday, with Prime Minister Keir Starmer saying that his government was in talks with the bloc about the move. The European Commission proposed cutting tariff-free steel import quotas by almost half and a 50% duty for excess shipments in a bid to preserve viable steelmaking in the European Union. Britain's steel industry has warned of an existential threat from the proposed EU tariffs, the impact of which could exceed that of US President Donald Trump's tariffs on the sector. Britain said in August that the EU would remove tariffs on key steel products under a quota system as part of a reset of ties and a recent deal to ease trade barriers. Outrage and grief filled the streets of Rio de Janeiro as families of victims of police violence staged a powerful protest against a proposed Brazilian law that would reward police officers with cash bonuses for killing criminal suspects during operations. The demonstration brought together many people who say that the law will only worsen a crisis of police brutality and impunity, especially in Brazil's marginalized communities. The proposed legislation, which is still under debate in Brazil's Congress, promises financial rewards for officers involved in fatal encounters during what are deemed high-risk operations. But critics warn that it incentivizes deadly force, undermines human rights and further endangers vulnerable communities already suffering from over-policing. Ecuador's President Daniel Noboa emerged unharmed from a gun attack on his motorcade on Tuesday. Daniel Noboa was opening a water treatment plant in central Ecuador when his convoy was set on fire by hundreds of protesters. Noboa's car was surrounded by a group of around 500 people throwing rocks as he approached the event in Canar province. Environment and Energy Minister Ines Manzano formally filed a report of an assassination attempt against Noboa, adding that signs of bullet damage were found on the president's vehicle. The president was not hurt and 5 people have been detained. Ecuador's president signed the executive decree eliminating subsidies in mid-September, and his government declared emergency measures in several provinces to maintain order. A small training aircraft crashed in the remote Everglades region on Tuesday, prompting a swift rescue operation by Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. The plane carrying a flight instructor and a student reportedly experienced difficulties during a training flight near the Shark Valley area before going down in the wetlands. Despite the dramatic nature of the crash, both occupants escaped without injuries. Using a cell phone, they were able to transmit their GPS coordinates to authorities, aiding in their timely rescue from the difficult terrain. Following the airlift, both the instructor and student were expected to be transported to Miami Executive Airport. The cause of the crash is under investigation. High waves battered Mexico's Pacific coast on Tuesday as tropical storm Priscilla churned offshore near Jalisco, unleashing flooding and damage along Puerto Vallarta's waterfront. Streets, businesses, hotels and storm drains were inundated as waves crashed violently against seawalls and coastal promenades. Authorities quickly activated an interagency emergency response to manage the storm surge, rising tides and elevated wave activity. The storm's powerful impact disrupted daily life, highlighting the vulnerability of the region's coastline to extreme weather events and prompting urgent safety measures. Satellite images early Wednesday morning revealed Typhoon Halong rapidly approaching Japan, threatening the southern coast of Honshu, the country's main island. The Japan Meteorological Agency warned that the storm could sweep across the Izu Islands before skirting the southern shores of Honshu by Thursday. Currently moving north at 15 kilometers per hour, Halong packs a punch with peak gusts reaching 198 kilometers per hour, while sustained winds exceed 90 kilometers per hour. Time for another short break here in the bulletin. A lot more sporting action on the other side. Stay with us.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India NewsHour. I am Tanvi Taneja. US gold futures surged past the $4,000 per ounce milestone for the first time on Tuesday. It was driven by expectations of a Federal Reserve rate cut later this month and persistent safe haven demand due to the ongoing US government shutdown. US gold futures for December delivery settled at $4,004. The primary market for spot gold is the London over-the-counter market, which serves as the global benchmark for pricing. US stocks closed lower on Tuesday as investors deprived of economic data resulting from the shuttered government. All three indices ended in negative territory after a consumer expectations survey from the New York Federal Reserve showed deteriorating future expectations and rising inflation projections. Economically sensitive sectors, including home building, housing, airlines and transport, underperformed the broader market. Fed Governor Stephen Mirren stated his case for continued rate cuts, stressing the risks of keeping policy too restrictive. The International Monetary Fund has reached a staff-level agreement with Papua New Guinea on the reviews of its ongoing financial arrangements, paving the way for the country to access approximately $220 million in new funding. According to a statement released by the IMF, this development brings the total financial support dispersed to Papua New Guinea under these arrangements to around $853 million. The funding is aimed at supporting the country's economic reforms, improving fiscal stability and addressing external shocks. The IMF has been working closely with Papua New Guinea as the country navigates economic challenges, including the impacts of global inflation. The World Trade Organization sharply lowered its 2026 forecast for global merchandise trade volume growth to 0.5% on Tuesday. It cited expected delayed impacts from US President Donald Trump's tariffs. This marks a significant revision down from its previous estimate in August of 1.8% growth. Trump's tariffs decisions since he took office in January have shocked financial markets and sent a wave of uncertainty through the global economy. In Geneva, Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said that the world trading system is showing resilience, with the rules-based multilateral system providing some stability amid the trade turmoil.
The outlook for next year is bleaker, yes, and how concerned I am, very. I am concerned for the system. You saw what I said in my statement, that this is no time for complacency. Just because we see resilience in the system doesn't mean that we're home free, because there's so much uncertainty. And that's why we've also been very upfront with you that it's very difficult to forecast because we have these ups and downs with regard to trade policy uncertainty. So I am concerned.
You're watching the India NewsHour. Time now for some sporting action. First, updates from badminton. India's young shuttlers Anmol Karb and Tanya Hemant progressed to the women's singles second round at the Arctic Open tournament on Tuesday. Anmol produced a gritty show to edge out Lin Xiang-Te of Chinese Taipei in a 3-game marathon. Anmol will next face Wen Shi-Su of Chinese Taipei. On the other hand, Tanya notched up a win over Huang Chengping. She has set up a second-round clash with Ratchanok Intadon of Thailand. In mixed doubles, Dhruv Kapila and Tanisha Crasto outplayed France's Lucas Renoir and Camille Pognante in just 23 minutes to enter the second round. India's star shuttler Lakshya Sen will begin his quest for the Arctic Open title on Wednesday. Lakshya is set to face a tough test in the first round as he will clash with 5th-seeded Kodai Naraoka of Japan. On to women's cricket. Heather Knight helped England narrowly avoid an upset against Bangladesh in their ICC Women's ODI World Cup group stage match on Tuesday. England's spin department restricted Bangladesh to 179 despite Shobana Mostre's spirited half-century. Sophie Eccleston was the standout bowler as she returned with figures of 3 for 24. While chasing, England found themselves in a tough spot at 103 for 6 in the 30th over after skipper Nat Skyver-Brunt was dismissed for 32. Heather Knight rose to the challenge and dug deep to score a match-winning 79. Her efforts ensured England walked out of the stadium unbeaten in the tournament. Struggling Pakistan will face the invincible Australia in the ICC Women's ODI World Cup on Wednesday. Defending champions Australia hold a commanding 16-0 head-to-head record over Pakistan in the ODIs. Having lost 2 consecutive matches, Pakistan face an uphill task to find a win against an Australian batting juggernaut. Australia beat New Zealand by 89 runs in their opening game. Their second match with Sri Lanka was abandoned due to rain. Australia will look to gain momentum from this game before they face hosts India in a blockbuster match on Sunday. The Embassy of India in Paris organized a solemn tribute to honor the courage and sacrifice of Indian soldiers who laid down their lives in France and Belgium during the First World War. These memorials, though less known to many Indians, stand as a silent witness to their bravery and sacrifice. Let's remember their legacy through this special tribute.
This is not just another tribute ceremony in France where Indian and French officials came together to pay their respects. This is a heartfelt salute to the Indian soldiers who gave their lives on French soil during the First World War. More than 100 years ago, thousands of Indian soldiers left their homes and families to fight far away from their homeland for peace and duty. Many of them never returned, but their bravery and sacrifice live on. Embassy of India in France, along with French administration and defense officials, paid tribute to our heroes at the Indian War Memorial at Neuve-Chapelle and Villers-Guillien.
It's very important to keep the memories of their sacrifices alive. And you saw today how there are two local mayors and they brought some children with them. And I think it's very important for those children to understand the history of these wars and to understand the contribution of Indian soldiers and how they fought in a foreign land and sacrificed their lives and in the name of democracy.
In October 1914, 1st Battalion of British Indian Army landed in Western Front to support the Allied forces. Soon after arriving, they were deployed in the trenches of northern France and Belgium, where they faced some of the fiercest battles of the war. At Neuve-Chapelle, Indian soldiers fought a very tough battle in March 1915. They pushed back German forces under heavy fire. To remember the sacrifice of these soldiers, the Indian War Memorial at Neuve-Chapelle was built in 1927. It has names of more than 4,800 Indian soldiers who lost their lives but have no known graves. Each name here is a story of courage and sacrifice.
This commemoration is very important for us, and the relationship with Indian just after of the Battle of Neuve-Chapelle, and we reinforced the relationship every year, and the objective is not forget the memory of the soldiers here.
At the place called Villers-Guillien, another memorial was built in 2018 for Indian soldiers who fought in the Battle of Cambrai and nearby areas. The Indian Army's cavalry units were serving here with great courage. Among them, there were two brave soldiers who received Victoria Cross, the highest and most prestigious award for bravery in the British honour system. Rifleman Gabbar Singh Negi, who showed exceptional courage at the Battle of Neuve-Chapelle, and Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh, who displayed a heroic bravery at the Battle of Cambrai. In total, 6 Indian soldiers were awarded the Victoria Cross for their bravery in France and Belgium. Adding to this legacy, the Indian Peace Garden was inaugurated as a symbol of respect and remembrance. The garden has bullet holes engraved in metal plate which representing the bravery and sacrifice of each Indian soldier. As a flag of India and France fluttered together in the breeze, the ceremony became more than a tribute. It was a promise to honor the memory of these brave soldiers and keep their legacy alive for the future generations. They came, they fought, and they sacrificed their lives for unknown soil. For years, they remain unknown and unsung. But memorials here stands as a promise that no, we haven't forgotten you. We haven't forgotten your sacrifices. We will remember you forever. This is Rohini Gosavi in France for DD India.
So that's all for this edition of DD India NewsHour. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can also download our DD India mobile app for news from India and the world. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.